I didn't think so. I didn't think it would be.
We're on.
Ground's so dry. Open cracks.
Oh, yeah. It's bad.
Anybody from the city today? Is anybody else coming?
No, it's just us tonight.
Well, I will call the meeting to order for the Perkins Library Trust special meeting. Today is October 12th. It is now 6 p.m. First item on the agenda is roll call.
Great. All right, so we have this Miss Charlotte Parrott
Here.
and Autumn Pope.
Yes, ma'am.
And Valerie Hill.
Here.
Ryan Huckabee.
Here.
And we have Linda Barnett, who's officially part of the trust now.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, second item on the agenda, consideration, discussion, and action on the consent agenda.
I didn't know it was officially yet.
Thank you.
We need to approve the meeting minutes from July 7th. I make a motion, we approve those.
We're gonna go do them all at once.
Yes, we can do them all
Can
at
we do them
once.
all at once?
Yes, you
Okay.
can do it the whole thing because it's the consent agenda.
Okay, the meeting minutes from July 7th, meeting minutes from August 29th, the financial report, and the library director's report.
I'll second it.
All right, so Valerie
Yes.
and Charlotte,
Yes.
Autumn,
Yes, ma'am.
Brian,
Yep.
and Linda.
Yes.
Okay, item number 3, consideration of items removed from the consent agenda.
Nolan going.
Okay, item number 4. Any public appearances, petitions, communications, personal appearances? Anyone? Okay. Item number 5. Consideration, discussion, and possible action regarding the T-Mobile hometown grant application.
All right, we have another grant for you now that we've officially submitted the one. We got another one. So T-Mobile has a hometown grant that's for small towns and rural communities for up to 50,000 for each project, like for each town. So each town can have one project and can be awarded up to 50,000. And back before Noelle left, I even asked her, like, is this something that would be good? And something that I had noticed in their own wording, they had mentioned libraries, but we don't have a library that's gotten it yet. So I don't know if one hasn't applied, or maybe they didn't have a big enough project, but she thinks we have a shot at it. Let's see.
Allison had brought this one up a bit, I feel like, hadn't she?
I think so. I found it in her notebook of other grants.
Mm-hmm.
But looking at it too, it's not a federal grant, it's a private grant. And I haven't found anything that would lead me to believe that we couldn't use this as part of the matching funds for the NEH grant. So that would take a big chunk.
I think as long as it's not a federal grant, we can count it.
Well, and I tried to check too, because I know they partnered with Main Street America, and just checking on all that, and everything's private, so we should be good.
Very awesome.
Exciting. When is this one due?
So there are different application times. They do it quarterly, but it's one of those where the earlier the better, just because I know they've got a set amount. But the winter application dates are from October to December, and if we do miss that one, we got another one in January to March.
Well, I'd say we just go ahead. I mean, we've got a lot of finely tuned narratives now.
Mm-hmm.
And the other stuff that was prepared for the NEH grant
And this
I
one-
think we print that all out, and pass it around, and fine tune it yet again, and plan to send this one in.
And on the little, the second thing that's paper put together, I've got grant requirements, and they wanted a 3 to 5 page packet with a detailed description of the project to be evaluated by their panel, a detailed budget, which we already have, including the breakdown, the budget line items, the timeline, a shovel-ready plan. And I couldn't get any kind of better term on that.
Ours is all shovel-ready, isn't it?
I think
I would think so. I would think ours is detailed enough.
We have the shovels, we just need the money.
Exactly.
There's probably still a few pages of plans we could
What,
put in there.
Ryan, what part of our shovel-ready plans would be good to concentrate on for this?
Well, obviously, exterior work, I mean, we still need to get the exterior walls, south wall painted and ephes on the other walls.
Doesn't sound near as glamorous as the inside.
Right.
But it gets, I mean, we kinda need to get the outside done. We still have parking lot issue to deal with. I mean, if we had 50 grand surplus, we might be able to get
Yeah.
parking done and over. We still have utilities to get in the building. There's a lot of things that aren't very sexy that need done before we go inside and start doing the exciting stuff, so.
It'd be hard to have an inside the library done and then not be able to use it.
Exactly.
So with the shovel ready, they want an outline of expected outcomes for the town and details on the permits needed and like when we could begin if we got permits. Do you think that the
Well,
utility work would be?
yeah, I think for this, I mean, we could show them our entire plan. And then, obviously, prior to submitting this, we'd have to pick out which portion of that
Concentrate.
plan that these funds would be used for.
Yeah.
You know, which, you know, depending on timing, could be the utilities, parking lot, exterior wall finishes.
Any one of those things.
You know, we have a number of things outside yet still to tackle, so I think we just pick and say, here's what we would do. It would get us this much closer. And we could put verbiage in there about if we get this, it could mean another 50 grand on top of that if we get this other grant. So, you know, if they're really trying to help somebody out and they want to help us, then they could give us a double help potentially. So,
And is there a time that we would need, so, you know, the NEH grant matches, what's our time frame of having money that they're matching? Do you remember that?
well, we have a two-year window
Window to
after award.
get-
Once awarded.
Yeah. And what was the award date on that one? I can't, was it January?
Oh, I have to
Any
look.
age? I mean, it was a couple of months
Right,
after
it's
submission.
after.
I think it was January sometime.
Right.
So this one, it's awarded 30 to 60 days after each. So like a month or 2 months after the deadline. So if the deadline's in
Pretty
December,
We know around.
I guess either one of those timeframes, we would still be within our matching window, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then the good thing about, I'm guessing a grant like this, since it's not a matching, it's just,
It's just, oh, yeah.
It's just,
really
here's your money.
open, and I was a little skeptical at first at just how open it is, but like,
but if that's how it works,
that's
and
everything I've been able to dig up.
if that's how it works, though, and we just
Yeah.
get 50 grand up front, we can spend that, and that goes towards matching. And then we get another 50 right after that, so we'd get 100 possibly to kickstart. And, I mean, the outside would be done, and we'd be migrating inside pretty quick, and so
That's kind of exciting.
we need to find a couple more like this.
That's the hard part.
Well, I guess I won't jump ahead, because that's the next item.
So I think, we don't need a motion, do we? Or do we need to make a motion?
Possible
Make a
action.
motion
To pursue?
to have staff
If you wanna
pursue the grant.
proceed it, Yeah.
Oh, I make a motion we pursue this grant. I make a motion to pursue this.
I'll second.
All right. So we have Valerie
Yes.
and Brian,
Yes.
Linda,
Yes.
and Autumn,
Ma'am.
and Charlotte.
Yes.
All right.
And I guess with that in mind, we need to maybe consolidate all the documents that we prepared for this last one, maybe into one nice tidy PDF
Yeah.
that you could send out, and everybody's got it. And then could start looking at that, coming up with ideas, either make edits in your spare time or come up with ideas of other documents we can create or supplemental information we could put with this one and any other ones going forward. 'Cause
This one wanted letters too, didn't it? From-
It did. It wants 5 letters of support from local government or community organizations or members. Like, it's pretty broad on like who. But if you're with everyone that just wrote one, we could definitely get 5 and be like, can we, now instead of any H, can we address it to T-Mobile? I don't see that being much of a problem.
And so item number 6 on our agenda is consideration of other grant opportunities.
So I need to look in a little bit more, and it's just been, I try to make sure I had everything for this one. I wanna look more into Sartsky. I can't say that word, Sartkeys. And, Allison mentioned another one, the, I'm so sorry, hang on.
When she told me she'd been in communication with Sarkeys, and I think kinda, I wouldn't say already had verbal approval, but she
At
made
least
it sound like
insurance.
she had feedback that made it sound like we could possibly be awarded.
So we need to get their dates and things when we need to get it in.
Right, and other ones that I need to look into are the Kirkpatrick Foundation and Inasmuch Foundations, and I need to look into those a little bit more.
Inasmuch it does not go very far from Oklahoma City. They have done a few out of ways, but I think Sarkeys, when we tell them that we used our first money we got in '04 for the
We did the roof. with-
interior furnishings, and we're going to take them with us,
Right.
I think that ought to be a big thing in our favor.
Didn't we not weren't we awarded a Sarkeys grant for the trusses?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
and we put 40,000 on the infrastructure, those trusses.
Yeah.
And I think on that Sarkey side, it says you can get multiple awards, but you can't get a second award until you've completely spent and used the first one, which we have.
That's easy.
Check.
But I think there's a process to go through. You gotta do a letter of inquiry with them that's due Thursday, December 1st, for the February 1 grand deadline. I don't have my glasses, so I can't read it all, but if I remember right, I think you send a letter of interest, and then they come back to you and say, yeah, we'll entertain you guys, and then you put your grant application together and send it back to them. So,
Okay.
Is there any other?
That's all I've got at the moment. I do plan on looking into everything a little bit more after the Books and Barbecue fundraisers, because everything's kind of gone towards that this week. And last week, everything went to the NEH one.
Yeah. Okay, so the next item on the agenda is new business.
I don't know, that's a touchy one. I always have things I can talk about, but I don't know if we can always consider them new or not, so I'll abstain. I think if we focus on the grant stuff, that's the main thing for now. I think we've got a good plan. We know what we need to do. We just need to find some funding to do it and keep the ball rolling.
Do we have dates on any of our upcoming fundraisers? I guess our no dinner dinners.
Yep, it's, I know it's in the spring. I think that's the
there
Besides the
another?
book and barbecue one, those are the two I've got lined up at the moment. I need to find what it's gonna take to get the gala up and going. I don't know enough about it, what all was planned, and what it's gonna take to bring that up again.
I don't remember what all either. We had a save the date.
We had a date, we had a location, we had an MC, we had vendors who are willing to donate for our silent auction.
We had the menus.
We had menus. We had gotten, it was ready to go and everything was canceled. I mean, we had everything. It was done. But
I think if some of these places knew how hard COVID hit us, that it might help. Sorry.
Do you think we have that information somewhere? Was there a shared
there was
drive or
not a
something?
shared drive. Allison would be the best source of information on that. I know I had done all the calling around, or not all, I had done a lot of the calling around for venues. We had settled on,
Meditations?
Meditations. Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
We had invitations that had already been printed and went out. We had a party bus lined up to train shuttle people.
Yeah.
So,
We were ready to go.
we were, yeah, it was ready. It was ready to roll.
It sounds like it.
Had my dress. And if you know, I don't wear dresses, and I had a dress.
Don't you still have it?
I have it, but
Trying to get that up and
Yeah.
going again.
yes, I think that'd be, and I think it would be interesting. I don't know that we have to stick to that plan. I mean, that exact plan, if that makes sense. I think that'd be a neat thing to bring up. Again, especially at the Friends meeting, and see if maybe they have some new ideas. Because I think a gala of sorts would be a neat idea, but I think there's been some conversation about if we were able to do something in the library building and do almost more like a hometown
Yeah.
get together, not so much like a fancy gala, but there's been different concepts thrown around, so I think that would be neat for a discussion anyways.
Sounds great. Figure out how to make that into an
Does
agenda.
anybody know how many names they have on the people that have graduated from Perkins Tryon High School? Is that a field that we need to send letters? And last time we sent letters, and I don't know, it cost us $500 to mail them, and I think we made 5,000, which isn't very much, but that's about what it usually costs to raise money, I guess, 10%.
Probably, yeah.
So I don't know whether it's worthwhile to do it again.
It'd definitely be worth looking into, for sure. I don't remember doing that. That must have been before me, but I love that idea.
Is the Alumni Association, they keep up with all of that?
Yeah.
Addresses?
Is Cheryl Perkins, is she the?
No, it's
She was one of them that helped with it, but it was someone else who did all the tickets and stuff this year.
Crawley? No.
Cheryl somebody, I can't remember.
But that would be a neat venue.
Any other new business?
I have.
I make a motion, we adjourn?
Second?
Alrighty, Valerie,
Yes.
Autumn,
Yes, ma'am.
Charlotte,
Yes.
and Linda,
Yes.
and Brian.
Yep.
Alright. And then Valerie, have you sign minutes, and then this Linda, I've got something else for you to sign as well.
All right, sounds good.
Do I need to sign the ones in front of me?
You can, that works too. Oh,
Just-
yep, that's blue, yep, just right there. And,
Oh, well, you already have one.
oh, this one goes to
Oh,
Linda. Oh,
okay.
sorry, yep.
Okay.
I was like, you can have these copies if you want. And this is something that they are, the,
Oh, yeah, I
all
had
the
to sign one.
municipalities and all that, yeah.
I had to
it's
sign one
that.
for the other.
That's right. Oh, okay. Awesome, good. And then they're gonna take care of the rest.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, did we get both of them? We had two. So we got. There's that one, and then, here we go. And then you can have my copy. And it's just that one. Yes, okay. Thank you so much.
You need this top sheet?
Sandy
You can have it if
McCauley.
you want it, or.
Yes, McCall, I was
That's
like, because I thought her husband was a
I
doctor.
couldn't think of
If
who
not,
it
I can
was.
throw it away.
I think her husband or her son is a doctor at Cushing.
I couldn't think of what
I
her
think
name
her
was.
son, I think her son is a doctor.